Hello, my beautiful friends. So it is the time of the week yet again where we talk about all the new makeup releases here in Pay or Stay Away. So if you are interested in hearing about what is new in the makeup world, then go ahead and keep on watching and let's jump right on in. Okay, so I have been in a freaking world of hurt when it comes to technology and when it comes to computers and YouTube and my phone. So just a bit of a story time here before we get into, the new makeup releases and what you're actually here for and what you actually care about. But last week it all started with me dropping my phone in the freaking toilet and basically having to get an entire new screen, which is fine. My screen was screwed up anyway and cracked, but nonetheless, I had to get a new screen. Then my computer goes down and I can't do any YouTube and I can't do anything without it. I mean, we all know how the 21st century is. We all know how freaking 2019 is. We have to have technology to be able to basically do anything and basically function like a normal human being. And it was just an excruciating 3 days without my computer, basically 4 days. Which I know is first world problems, but nonetheless, that is my excuse for why I haven't posted any videos all week. So now you're caught up and to date with everything that's been going on. As per usual, it's not like anyone really asked me, but I figured I'd fill you in. But I figured in honor of me officially being back on YouTube and having a fixed computer, a fixed phone, no more hopefully will go wrong. Knock on wood, please. But I figured we would go ahead and start out with the indie side of Pay or Stay Away and then finish up the episode with some of the more mainstream Sephora and Ulta brands. Switch it up a little bit, have a little fun here. But the first brand that we're talking about today is Devinah Cosmetics, which is of course an indie brand. But they announced they are coming out with the Willy Wonka exploders. Now these will be available in June. We don't have an actual date yet or a price, but I'm sure that they will keep us posted about that. So I was getting tagged in the initial post that Devinah put on their Instagram like crazy. And by like crazy, I mean like 3 people tagged me in the post, which is a lot for me, but nonetheless, you guys knew immediately when you saw these that these were basically made for me. These are my kind of eyeshadows. This is my kind of makeup. Y'all know I love me a good pressed, sparkly, glittery eyeshadow, and this is exactly that. And these are all really cute candy colors. We have pinks, we have purples, we have blues. Oh my god, could they have come out with something that is more me? I don't think so. These are the epitome of me in makeup. And apparently Devinah Cosmetics also felt the same. Now, Devinah reached out to me a few days before even posting the first initial, sneak peek of these, and they told me that they have pink makeup that is coming out soon that they want to send me and asked if it was okay. And of course, I accepted. If a makeup brand reaches out to you and tells you they have unreleased pink makeup that they think you'll like, you accept in that situation. But nonetheless, even if they didn't reach out to me and ask me if I wanted to obtain these via PR, I would have absolutely bought them because these, like I said, are my jam. These are my shit. This is what I live for when it comes to makeup. And I am so flattered and honored to have them reach out to me because Lord knows a girl doesn't get much PR, if any PR at all, because I'm a tiny YouTube channel. Who cares about my opinion? So I really, really freaking appreciate them reaching out to me, and I think it was just absolutely amazing. They legitimately made my entire week. Like, that's why I'm sitting here blubbering about it right now. I'm not trying to brag. I'm really happy, okay? It's really cool to have a brand think of you and send you product. And I would have forked over the money for these no matter what. Even if they were expensive, I would have bought these because they look absolutely phenomenal. And obviously, the name says it all. These are the Willy Wonka exploders. So these are basically named and basically conceptualized, if you will, after candies, especially Willy Wonka candies. So we have the shade Nerds, Runts, Swudge, Pixie Stick, Kazookles, Marshmallow Pillows, and lastly, but certainly not least, Everlasting Gobstoppers. So out of everything that they've shown so far, my absolute favorite is Marshmallow Pillows, which is the most gorgeous, cool toned fuchsia pink with a super intense purpley blue shade. This is just my dream eyeshadow. It is absolutely beautiful. And you can bet your bottom that I am going to be doing a bunch of videos. I will do swatch videos, I will do tutorials, I will do whatever you guys want me to do with these eyeshadows when I receive them. I will provide you guys with the entire Devinah Willy Wonka Exploders experience. So a big thank you to Devinah for sending those my way when you really didn't have to. I would have purchased them either way. But I will most definitely be doing a video as soon as I get them in the mail, and I will be filling you guys in on what these are all about. So stay tuned. But jumping into the next indie makeup release, we have something new from Bitterlace Beauty, and these are the Diamond Transformers. Like, Do I need to say more? I think you guys already know what my verdict is going to be on these guys and purchasing them just by the name. But the Diamond Transformers will be available on May 13th, and they drop at 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Now they are coming out with 4 beautiful diamond top coat like pressed powders that basically have a bunch of multi-dimensional, not really glitters, but micas. They don't look super chunky and super glittery, if you will. They just look really fine and really multi-dimensional. So I'm gonna call them sparkly micas. Make it a little easier, I suppose. But they are coming out with these shades pink diamond, yellow diamond, white diamond, and blue diamond. And these look just so freaking beautiful. I don't think I have to tell you guys that I am absolutely picking up pink diamond. And Lord knows I probably don't need to, especially after what I just talked about, the Devinah Willy Wonka exploders. Those are sparkly and mostly pink, and then I'm going to go ahead and purchase something else that's sparkly and mostly pink. So as I always say, this is a judgment-free zone. I don't want to be judged for purchasing pink sparkly makeup. These look absolutely gorgeous. Honestly, if I could purchase all 4 of them, I would, but that's just not in the cards for me right now financially. So I'm gonna go ahead and just settle for pink diamond. It looks beautiful. Do I need it? No. Do I want it? Yes. So I'm gonna add it to my collection. Simple as that. And the final indie release that I wanted to talk about is from Nabla Cosmetics, which is an indie brand, but everyone and their mother knows them, so they're a pretty big indie brand. But nonetheless, this is the Secret Palette, and this will be available on May 22nd at 1 p.m. Central Standard Time. So I don't have a price for this guy yet. I'm gonna assume that's gonna be like 56 bucks because I believe that's how much their palettes usually are, which is not bad considering you're getting 15 different eyeshadows of all sorts of pretty colors here. Now, I think that the color scheme of this palette is really stunning. Like, don't get me wrong, I think those emeraldy, foresty greens are really beautiful paired amongst the golds. Then we have those gorgeous berry tones and that peachy tone. I think that's really stunning. What I'm more so not super jazzed about is the neutrals that have kind of been thrown in there. I don't necessarily dislike the color scheme by any means. I think the neutrals are needed in this scenario because you need some neutrals to bridge the gap from gold to green to berry red. And I totally get why they did that. For some reason, because the neutrals are in there, I'm just not super crazy about it. I think that if it was just the colorful shades, this would be something that I think would be really exciting. But you know, I'm a reasonable girl over here. I can understand why they put those neutrals in. And I do think that they're more mauve toned, so I do think that complements, you know, the berries. I also think it complements the emerald. I think the emerald kind of foresty greens and the mauve toned neutral shades would be a really nice contrast. It's not really my cup of tea. There are definitely elements of the palette that are my cup of tea, but for me personally, it just doesn't really make sense for me to buy it because I don't think I would really use it that much. But I do think it's pretty, and I do think it's a unique-ish kind of color scheme. I mean, we've seen this done before, but I don't think we've seen it done a whole lot of times, so I like it. I think Nabla is on a good path here. It's just not really my gig. And I don't know about you guys, but I own Nabla palettes, and they are fantastic, don't get me wrong, but the swatches that Nabla comes out with is just, it does not look like the swatches in real life, okay? And I know every brand frickin' does that, but it's just kind of like a pet peeve of mine because I want my swatches to look like their swatches, and they don't. I think you'd have to use half the eyeshadow pan to get your swatches to look like that. I love you, Nabla. I'm not a hater. I'm just nitpicking. But those are all of the indie releases that I have for you guys. So let's go ahead and transition right on over from indie to Sephora and Ulta brands. And we'll get this started here with something from a brand that I have kind of sworn off from my life. And somehow they are back in my life saying, take me back. But this is a new release from Morphe, who I have not talked so kindly about here on my channel. I think a lot of people either absolutely love Morphe and love everything that they're doing, or people just want nothing to do with them. And for a long time, I have been on the I want nothing to do with them spectrum of things. But every so often there comes a time when I can push that aside for a really beautiful makeup launch, and this may be one of those times, folks. Now, they are coming out with the Such a Gem 39S palette, and many of you tagged me in this as well because I think it doesn't take a rocket scientist to look at this and know that this is something that I need in my life. Now, this will be available on May 14th at 8 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, so that is this upcoming Tuesday. If you're watching this on the Monday that I upload it, it will be tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. But this will retail for $35, plus you can always use someone's 10% off coupon, although there are some individuals who I would steer you away from using their coupon after the recent controversies that have come out. I just got like 10 thumbs downs for saying that. I'm sorry, okay? But I know some of you out there know exactly what I'm talking about. But nonetheless, this will retail for $35, as I said, and we will be getting 39 different eyeshadows. So that's a pretty good deal in my personal opinion. Now, you know, although I have sworn off Morphe and have just kind of stayed away from them for the past year or so, this is something that I am extremely interested in and that I think I might end up picking up. Now, could I dupe this palette in my collection with my single shadows? Probably. Do I necessarily need this palette? Probably not. But good lord, is this a beautiful color scheme or what? This is something that I would use all of the time. Lord knows I already have enough pink and purple eyeshadows, but let me tell you, even though I keep expanding my collection of pink and purple eyeshadows, I use them like crazy. I use them down to the freaking bone, and I think this is something that I would use if I had it in my collection. If this palette was like 60 bucks or 70 bucks or in the higher price range, maybe I would be singing a different song here. But this is something that I am just really leaning towards saying yes to and just purchasing. I'm not really 100% on Morphe's quality. I don't really know how great their quality is nowadays, but I tried their palettes back in the day and wasn't crazy impressed. As far as I'm concerned, we are checking off every single box of things that I want as far as color schemes go from a makeup brand and a makeup palette. So, you know, I think I just convinced myself that this is something that I'm gonna do my best to purchase. I know Morphe sells out a lot and, you know, you kind of have to be on the website exactly at 8 a.m. to be able to purchase it. So I'm gonna do my best to get my paws on it, because even though I may not care for the brand that much, this is just too good of a palette and too good of an opportunity and too good of a price tag to pass up at this point. I feel kind of disappointed with myself for saying that and for making this decision, but we've reached the final verdict at this point, and that palette will be mine. And the final release that I wanted to tell you guys and talk to you about here in Pay or Stay Away is from Viseart or Viseart yet again, and this is their Rosé palette and their Warm palette that are both available now. They retail for $39 each, and they are a Beautylish exclusive, so you have to purchase them from the Beautylish website. Although Beautylish is awesome, they package everything beautifully, and they usually send you free products, so I wouldn't necessarily say it's a bad thing that these are a Beautylish exclusive. So I feel very similarly, that's a hard word to say, but I feel very similar as I felt towards the Morphe palette that I just talked about to the Rosé palette from Viseart here. These are my kind of colors. Okay, we have those gorgeous lilacs, we have pink, we got hot pink, we got all sorts of pretty shades in here. The only difference between the two is that this one definitely has much more neutral tones and it's a little bit more muted and toned down. But honestly, for Viseart, that seems pretty on brand for them for the most part. And I think that the $39 price tag for a Viseart palette that has a bunch of shadows in it is a great price. Lord knows Viseart is very expensive. So that kind of leads me to believe that these are going to be very tiny pans. Now, if you're familiar with their Theory palettes, I believe, or their Theory mini palettes, the ones that are $30, the actual pans in those palettes are the size of a dime. And, you know, for Viseart or Viseart, that is pretty standard. They're expensive. They always have hefty price tags on their palettes, but they have really great quality. If these were their normal sized pans, I would think that this would probably be a $90 palette. So that leads me to believe that these are going to be really small, but I'm not necessarily against that. I'd rather be able to get less product for less money and actually be able to afford the Viseart experience. So I'm not necessarily against the fact that these are probably going to be the size of your palm. What I am against here is that I legitimately just purchased 3 of their single shadows. These were $12 a pop, so I spent like 43 bucks after tax and shipping and whatnot. And it's like the same exact color scheme. It's basically, I should reword this here. It's basically everything that I would want out of the Rosé palette, like all my favorite colors from that palette, all the colors I know I would use. And I got that here for the same price. Like, I'm laughing because it's just, I'm an idiot for jumping on the single shadows and not waiting a few days until they came out with this guy. I would have rather just waited and not purchased these and buy the Rosé palette and get more shades. Even though it's less product, I'd rather get more variety to choose from. And so for that reason, because I purchased these 3 shadows for the same exact price, if not more, I'm sorry, Viseart, but I'm going to be skipping over the Rosé palette and the Warm palette. Although they are both beautiful and I appreciate them coming out with smaller palettes and smaller pans for a more achievable price point for most people, but I can't do it, because I'm stuck with these. But I have been rambling your freaking ear off here, and I'm sure you are more than ready to go if you haven't by now. So I'm gonna go ahead and wrap up this week's Pay or Stay Away, but as we always do, go ahead and strike up a conversation in the comments below. Let me know how you were feeling about this week's releases, what I didn't mention that you're gonna be purchasing, and how you are feeling about everything being released, and hell, even leave your thoughts on the beauty community at the moment, because Lord knows it is up in flames yet again. But with that being said, I would absolutely love it if you would hit that subscribe button down below if you want to be in the loop with all the new makeup releases and you are not already subscribed. And I really hope that you consider giving me a big old thumbs up if you enjoyed the video. It helps the channel, it helps to show YouTube, hey dude, I exist, I'm down here. So if you choose to do either of those or both, then I greatly appreciate you. But I hope that you are having an absolutely amazing and beautiful day wherever you are, and thank you so much for spending your time here and joining me today. I hope to see you next time. Bye!